Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a blessed day. Mine's going really good. As I mentioned on Wednesday, I'm doing two videos, last Wednesday's and today's the second one, about a survey I saw when people walked around and were asking people a question. And this person here was walking around in like what looked like a mall. And there were a lot of young people everywhere, people in their 20s, 30s, but basically younger people. And he was walking around and he was holding up a $20 bill. Of course, mine's a 5. I had a 20, but I think my wife ripped it off. But anyway, he was walking around holding up a $20 bill. And he was walking up and handing this $20 bill to people, and he said, listen, you can have that $20 if you will quote me one Bible verse. That's all he wanted. I'll give you this $20 if you quote me one Bible verse. He approached person after person, and not one of them could quote a single Bible verse. Not one. Several people asked this. They said, what's the Bible? They had no clue what the Bible is. Never heard of it. You know, Satan has done an excellent job of removing the Bible and any thought of God from our schools and universities and from life in general. He's done a great job. Not one single person that man asked, person after person, could quote a single verse in the Bible. You know, several years ago I was out, and I think we were riding mini bikes, and I had a t-shirt on that had a picture of Jesus on it. And this young kid walked up to me, and he was probably about 13 years old. And he looked at that shirt, and he looked at me, and he goes, who's that? And I looked at him, and I said, his name is Jesus. He lived 2,000 years ago. And the kid said he never heard of him. Never heard of him. And so I explained to him who he was. This is what kids are taught nowadays. You are the center of the universe. You're the center of the universe. You determine what's best for you. You determine your own truth. You're the center of everything. You decide everything. You're entitled to everything. Whatever you think, you're entitled to it. You don't have to work for it. You're entitled to it. Why do you think all this shoplifting is going on right now? You know, all this shoplifting, especially these organized gang shoplifting, when like 20 kids will jump out, run into a store, grab everything they can grab, and then run out of that store? They do that because they're entitled to it. If they want it, they take it. They're entitled to it. And the stores, they can get ripped off for thousands of dollars. Call the cops will not even show up. They won't even respond. This has produced a generation that is extremely short-sighted. The short-sighted, entitled generation. That's what we have right now. They teach them that this life, evolution, therefore this life is all you've got and it's all you will ever have. Therefore you got to reach out and take everything you want. This is all there is. There's nothing after this. Our universities now, all secular universities, they will not ever allow a speaker, a Christian speaker, or anyone has to do with creation, they will not allow that speaker on campus to talk to their students. Never. Most of them will not allow any book that has anything to do with other than evolution in their school library. They won't do it. No differing opinions. Evolution is king. Don't confuse me with the facts. What these young people don't know, what they don't realize, is this life is not all there is. This life is not all there is. At the point of death, there is something more. And what they're not being told is during this life, instead of going after everything that has to do with me and my selfishness, nobody tells them that by living for self, you're missing something. And that something is, you determine your eternal destiny during this life. It's not decided then. It's decided in the here and now. This is what it says in Ecclesiastes 8:8. There is no man that has power over the Spirit to retain the Spirit. Neither has he power in the day of death. There is no discharge in that war. Neither shall wickedness deliver those who are given to it. What Solomon's telling us in Ecclesiastes is this. On the day of death, you will lose all power. When you go from flesh and blood human being and you pass through death, and your spirit, your soul, you have no power on that day. None. You will literally be taken into custody at that very moment of death. You will be taken into custody. If you're born again, you will go from there, and you will either wake up at the gates of heaven, you'll walk right through and just be at the gates of heaven, where your guardian angel and the Lord will meet you and take you to the gates of heaven, but you will be taken into custody. Someone will be there to meet you. If you are not born again, at the moment of death, the demonic host will be waiting, and they will take you into custody, and they will take you into the center of this earth, where you will be in hell until the great white throne judgment. People, that's the way it is. That's the absolute truth. Life's not about the here and now. Life is about what happens the day it ends. Anyhow, I just want to give you something to think about. Heaven or hell, you choose. Just remember, once you take your last breath, it's a done deal.